I mean, I'm just curious to know why it seems that everybody that you talk to is just a walking red flag. I mean, I'm at the point now where I've been single for so long, I'm starting to question myself and I'm thinking, maybe it's me. It's not them, it's me.
A 16-year-old just asked me for my Instagram and I was like, babe, I'm 26. And he was like, okay, then give me your Facebook.
Look, man, if I can give myself more than you can, then I don't need you. If I can treat myself better than you can, then I don't need you.
I just have a quick question, but how do people beat other people without using dating apps?
The next guy that asked to split the bill at dinner, please no. Like, this is just getting out of hand. Guys used to go to war, lay down their lives for the woman they loved.
Yes, and women used to be ladies. Now they're not.
I got this stuck up my ass. By the way, this is a butter churner if you didn't know. What?
I would rather be single and happy than be in a relationship and have my loved ones go, why is she with him?
So many guys will do this where, like, they want to be a good guy.
Yep.
They don't want to be a bad guy. But instead of like nutting up and doing the hard thing and sitting you down and being like, something shifted, I don't have feelings anymore.
Yep.
They just like slowly take away affection.
A lot of women got the misconception that men want a partnership that you have to go home and negotiate with and say, baby, this is what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? No, men, if you're going to give us the responsibility of being the man, if I come home and say some shit that you don't agree with, that don't mean we about to talk about this shit. That means I've been out here and I seen some shit that you might not have seen. And I'm saying, at this house, to protect us from the shit that I saw, this how we gonna do this.
Yeah, because they don't see the point of view from a man. They just see their point of view.
If you don't agree, we could talk about it after the fact, but this is what needs to happen.
I really love spreading the message of like living on my own, buying a house on my own, and I think it's a really good message. I don't know how happy it actually makes me.
Not that my content reaches a lot of men because I have an IQ of 130, but I want the men in this country to know that half the female population, we're dry. We're probably gonna stay dry. I'm dry as a desert, baby.
Okay, so let's prove that she doesn't have an IQ of 130. And it's very easy. So let's use a bit of logic here. Even before the election, if she dated a guy and she knew that that guy supports Trump, she never would have dated him. She would never give a chance to a guy like that supports Trump. So why do you think that men that voted for Trump care about how dry you are? It doesn't make sense. But I'll take it a step further, guys. I'll explain to you why the left in general has low IQ. They've demonized men for years and years. Why do we need men? Men are bad. I choose the bear instead of a man. And what happens after Trump wins? The first thing they say is, why did men vote for Trump? Because you've demonized them for years and years and years, and they had enough. And after that, what do? They start demonizing them again. Exactly like this woman. For sure, this strategy will work. For sure, something in 2028 will change. Just keep demonizing men. So I can bet on it that she doesn't have an IQ of 130 because everything she says doesn't make sense.
I am a 25-year-old single woman living in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment with her dog, a Chihuahua. I pay every fucking bill in this apartment. Rents, electricity, water, heat, whatever, everything.
Yeah, I can see how masculine you are, ma'am.
By myself. And y'all hoes got the nerve to think I'm gonna let a man who is doing the absolute bare minimum, can't even buy a hoe some flowers, to disrupt all this peace?
Oh my God, she's so masculine. The way that she eats, the way that the sounds she makes. Oh my God, I wouldn't stand a woman like this. Not even 3 seconds. Ma'am, I'm sure you're going to be still single at 45. Keep acting the way that you act.
I am single and I am a hopeless romantic again, and I am so sick and tired of being everybody's almost and nobody's somebody. Does that make sense to anybody else? We're going out. We're not really going out. We're just going downstairs to the restaurant on the corner to grab a glass of wine, and they close in an hour, but we need to get out of the house. So we're getting out of the house.
Why is it that there are so many girls who are hot and successful, but they're still single? I read every dating book under the sun. This is what they said. The first reason they're single is because of something called hypergamy. That means we tend to want to date up, which means women tend to want to date a guy who's got more money and social status than her. This doesn't make women shallow. This is just evolutionary. So as you can imagine, if a woman is already making 6 figures and super attractive, the chances of her finding a man who's even more career successful and makes more money and has more social status and meets her high standards is going to be extremely slim. The second reason is because most women who are super
but they don't even understand how extremely low the chances are that they're going to meet a man like that. Extremely low.
career-driven lead with their masculine energy because it's what's got them career success. Whereas what attracts high-value men isn't career success in a woman, it's a woman who's in her feminine.
So you can't really date when you're on a house arrest because you just can't leave your house. Like, I wasn't allowed to go on a date with a guy to a restaurant or a putt-putt or anything like that. I was strictly at my house, so it kind of sucked.
Relationships are my thing. Don't take relationship advice from me. I've been in one relationship, a good relationship, that's a bad word, a fully dedicated relationship since being out of prison. So again, no advice from me.
You know how you always hear the good guys complain and say that the girls don't go for the good guys because they want the bad boys, and then the good guys are tired of being screwed over? I get it, good guys, because let me tell you, us good women, we are tired as well. Because apparently...
No. It's not the same thing. Just look at her. She's already hit the wall. That's why she's searching for the good guys. Remember this, guys. Women in their 20s don't look for the good guys. They look for the bad boys. And then once they have a high body count, once they see that the bad boys won't take them anymore, won't give them attention anymore, once they're 30, 35, then they look for the good guys. So don't believe that she's as innocent as she says she is.
I mean, men just want the damsels in distress, the hot fucking train wreck messes that they can like rescue or whatever they want to do. Because us like super normal, healed, emotionally intelligent
30-something-year-old women with a high body count and lots of baggage and years in therapy,
ready for a relationship type of women, we get shit on constantly. So good guys, we good girls, we're looking for you. I don't know where you're hiding. I don't know where you're hiding. Where are you hiding? Because I'm looking for you.
Women need to chill out. All men want is a woman who's going to cook, a woman who's going to clean, a woman who's going to breastfeed them, a woman who's going to burp them after dinner, and a woman who's going to wipe their bottom if they have a stinky.
And if you notice, women don't really have friends.
And women just look for a 6-foot rich guy that has abs, that has lots and lots of money, that would do anything for them, buy them whatever they want, and take them on trips whenever they want.
We live in a society where women, because they've been told and kind of indoctrinated, and there are so many reasons, modern feminism, the destruction of the family nucleus, how a lot of people are raised now, right? Culture, where women feel that they have to be hyper independent, boss babes. They have to wear all of these hats and never depend on a man. That it's really difficult as they get older in life. It's difficult to unlearn a lot of those things.
Totally.
So they'll go on a date and that's their instinct.
Yeah. If you're not dating for marriage, like what are you dating for?
Well, do you think you can't have a lifelong girlfriend and have kids?
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous?
Because why would you stay with someone but not also just go ahead and marry them then?
What did I tell you? They never see it from the point of view of a man. As a man, it's not worth it to get married with the current laws, and knowing the divorce rates and knowing that majority of divorces are initiated by women, you have to be stupid to want to get married.
If you plan on staying with them forever, like what's the problem?
Well, I mean, this is the solipsism. So you're saying, why would a woman do that? I get for you, maybe you don't like the deal, but I think it's a better deal for me to not get married. So convince me that I should get married.
Because you want to date other people, like in your lifetime, you don't want to like just only be with one person?
Do I need to get married to stay with somebody for the rest of my life?
No.
Okay.
Are you worried about the like liability or repercussions?
Yes.
So you wouldn't...
I am concerned about the liabilities.
So you wouldn't love somebody enough to make that commitment?
I can just reverse this onto you. Why can't she love me enough to not get married?
I guess.
Yeah, just be in a relationship.
So your argument falls apart.
So I got off dating apps a few months ago because this shit is not for the weak. I've had some great experiences.
So if you got out of dating apps, that means that you're very weak, by her logic. Okay, so we know that you're very weak.
Experiences and some awful experiences, and I'm just tired of it. I'm over it. So I've come to the conclusion that I'm gonna meet someone in the most organic way, and I don't want to meet someone on Instagram. I don't want to meet somebody on dating apps. So I'm just moving on. I am in a part of my life right now where I've accepted that God has a plan for my life, and He knows my every move. He knows exactly who I'm going to meet. He knows where I'm going to meet this person.
Another woman that doesn't want to put in any effort and will just wait for Prince Charming to fall from the sky, somehow magically appear in her life. If you don't act like a potential wife, how do you expect to attract a potential husband? I don't understand it.
And I accept it wholeheartedly. But my Delulu is telling me that I'm going to meet my man at Target. Like, I'm going to be shopping for Ethan, and I'm just going to say, like, hey, like, are you shopping for your son too? Like,
and you'll just find Chad, and Chad will just sleep with you.
Hypothetically, if there was a prenup that said you get $0 upon divorce, would that still be an acceptable commitment of marriage in the ways they're describing?
I feel like it's a cop-out if you sign a prenup. It's like you're already planning for failure.
Well, that's awful convenient to say. Let us assume that the divorce courts were rigged in the favor of men instead of women. Would you say then that a woman should protect herself by getting a prenuptial agreement? Because if she didn't have, they did divorce, the man had all the earning capacity and she doesn't, and she needs to protect herself.
In this hypothetical scenario, men are initiating 80% of the divorces.
I would tell her don't get married if you can't make that risk.
Great. That's the exact advice that I would give to a man in reverse. If a woman is unwilling to sign a prenuptial agreement, don't get married.
Don't get married.
No, I mean don't get married if you're debating a prenup because you're
right.
You're
saying the same thing I'm saying. If you're debating a prenup, then don't get married.
Ladies, y'all have to be an asset to these six-figure men that you swear you want. Okay, you can't come into the relationship with this broke bitch mentality and think you're going to get a man of that caliber. You got to come in wanting to fix a problem that this man has. Okay, his schedule is overwhelmed.
If you're not an asset to me and you can't help me in whatever I want or need, then why would I be in a relationship with you? It doesn't make sense logically.
Be the girl that takes a little bit off his plate. Let me be your secretary, okay? Let me answer them hard calls that you don't want to answer, that you might not need to have to answer. Let me schedule those business meetings that you feel like that you need. Let me organize and write down everything that you have for your calendar. Let me pack your bags for your trips that you have to go on. You have to be some sort of asset to these men. You can't just be there. Okay, you can't just be the woman that just looks cute. These women are actually doing something in the background.
You can be just cute, but those men will just smash you and then leave you because you're not wife material. But women don't understand that. They think they're owed something just because they exist, just because they're pretty. No.
So there are some people from your standard who you think are less attractive than others, right?
In my perspective, yeah.
If we were to go around the table, can you go ahead and tell me, based on those standards, and rate each one of those women?
I don't feel comfortable doing that.
You're right. Every single time. Okay, well, let me ask you this. Can you rate Brian?
According to what I like and what I'm attracted to, a 7.
Yeah. A what?
A 7.
Okay, great. Yeah. Now that you've done it with Brian, what would be the distinguishment for why you feel comfortable doing it to a man, but not to a woman?
Because me as a female,
because she's a feminist, that's why. And because men don't matter.
I'm attracted to men. I'm not attracted to women. It's
yes,
easier for me just
but
to
you
throw
still
that
have a
out.
subjective standard for what is attractive in women as well.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't feel comfortable doing that.
One simple compliment, and then let me do the rest of the talking. So
now, was the end goal to get laid, or why would I do that?
Because you're making small talk and conversation to be
But
personal.
why do I need to make small talk with a woman?
It's just
Yeah, I don't get it. If you're not my girlfriend, or if We're not seeing each other. We're not dating. Why would I want to be friends with a woman? We have almost nothing in common. What I like is not what most women like. How I think is not how most women think. So why would I be friends with a woman? It just seems so stupid to me. What are we going to talk about? Because what I want to talk about is what's happening with feminism and the problems in dating and in society. And if I tell that to a woman, most women wouldn't agree with me. So why would we be friends? I don't get it.
Sean, just go along with it. Well, because I'm here, right?
Okay.
And so you want to, in order to have manners, you want to make me feel comfortable.
But what would I get out of it?
You get to be the satisfaction of being a nice person.
Okay.
It's just learning how to communicate with both sexes so that you're not just doing the man dance all the time.
Well, it's like, but I'm saying, why would a man want to talk to a woman?
Yeah, I don't get it. Why?
You got a boyfriend, you know, like...
Are you saying
I
that
have a girlfriend,
the only reason you talk to a...
See, this is another thing that women don't understand. If you have a boyfriend, even if I want to ask you something, I'm going to ask him, not you. This happened to me when I was in a store like Walmart here in Romania. And a woman wanted me to help her to get something that was very high up because I'm tall, I'm 6'2". And she didn't ask me, she asked my girlfriend, hey, can your boyfriend help me with this? Because a woman, if she sees me having a girlfriend, it's not okay to come up to me, come up to my girlfriend, because I have nothing to talk to you. This is how it should be, but women don't understand this.
Y'all want to know why men are not vulnerable to women? I'm going to tell you why. It is because, first of all, nobody gives a shit about a man's emotions. That's first of all. A lot of women don't give a fuck about a man's emotions.
Yeah, true.
So when you get into a relationship with a man, I'm not saying all women, but most women in this day and age, when they get into a relationship with a man and they want him to be vulnerable, show emotion, da-da-da-da-da, the minute he gets vulnerable and he tells you what hurts him, what makes him sad, all this shit, y'all be using that shit against him. Yeah. So why the fuck would a man do that? Why would he get into the next relationship and be vulnerable? For what? For y'all to use that shit against him? Because the last thing on your mind is your man's mental health, which is insane. Because that's your partner. You're supposed to love them and be there for them. And y'all don't be doing that. It's always me, 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 me. Oh, I'm depressed. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. What about him? What about him? Then on top of that, y'all call that shit weak. Like, at the end of the day, he's a human being. He's your partner. Be considerate.
Y'all are in y'all bag over this. Like, y'all are so upset about this. And what I like to know is, when old girl was on that sprinkle movement, fulminating out the mouth, dogging our men out, talking all kind of trash about them, trying to put us on, give us tips, and teach us how to train and move as if they were pets, a part of our lifestyle.
It's simple, it's just a double standard. And in 2024, in Western society, it's acceptable for women to say whatever they want or think. But we can't do that. We would get cancelled.
Y'all had no words for that. Y'all were hooting, hollering, cheering it up, sharing with your friends, tagging this person. You know, oh yeah, that's racist. Oh my God, this, that, and the third. But now that somebody else has started this drizzle movement, y'all got all the issues in the world. And all I like to know is, why?
I deserve to be happy. Who told you that you deserve to be happy? See, this was something very humbling.
Nobody deserves anything. If you want something, you have to work for it.
For me to hear, because I chased after happiness the same way most of society also does. And women are conditioned today, and some men are conditioned today, to chase after personal happiness instead of doing what is right, what is morally right, and fighting for that. So the fact is, once you lock in on your role in your relationship and in this life, you will become a very content person, because happiness is fleeting. It is a fleeting emotion, and you might actually end up doing very self-destructive things.
And one more thing to add to that, even if a woman is happy because of their hormones, because how their hormones fluctuate each day, they can be happy now and sad the next moment. So if you're just chasing happiness and how you feel and giving into your emotions, it won't end good. That's why I tell you guys each day, be logical.
Chasing after happiness. So no, you do not deserve to be happy. In fact, there is such beauty in things being hard and doing what is right. You will lose yourself to appeal to other people or to your emotions. You will become a slave for other people, or you will become a slave to your own emotions.
If I was more of the provider, would I be expected to relinquish all of my income to the man to make decisions with it?
Yes, you would, and I'll explain why. What is the most valuable thing you can think of? I would say life. A man's obligation is to die on your behalf. So if there's a threat or danger to you, his job's to die before you die. You cannot replace that. So he cannot be replaced by anything else because his job's to sacrifice himself for you. So yeah, you give up the money.
Yeah, but there is another thing. She being the main provider and being very masculine won't attract another masculine man that would want to die for her. She will just attract a beta man. And of course she won't like that.
And you give up the control, you give up the power, but the exchange to all of that is that when the lifeboats go off of the Titanic, who gets in them first?
Women and children.
Women and children.
Yeah.
Things I learned after losing my boyfriend. Number 1, listen to each other. Francesco used to always say to me, when you get in my car, acknowledge me. Don't be on your phone. Give me a kiss when you see me. And I used to get annoyed. Like, what's the big deal if I'm on my phone? I see you every day. All he wanted was acknowledgement. And for me, I was stubborn. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. For what? Why couldn't I just respect him and just do what he wanted me to do? Which didn't take much. Now I would do anything for that kiss. Listen to each other. Sometimes it's not that hard to make each other happy if you pay attention. Number 2, be okay with saying, hey, I'm sorry, I was wrong.
Someone once asked me about a woman I was dating who I really liked. And they said, well, what about that girl? What do you think about her? And I said, you know what? She's inoffensive. And that was like the highest praise I could give that woman. I have dated many different women in my life, and the ones that I've had the longest relationships with were not the hottest, were not the smartest, were not the most savvy with respect to relationships. They were not the most like domesticated, whatever that means. It was the women who were the most inoffensive. They were so easy to get along with. They didn't cause any problems. They didn't create any disrespect.
Yeah, it's exactly what I said. The most important thing to a man is peace.
They actually cared and, even better, worked and made an effort to make my life better and to further the goals that I was working towards, both for myself and for the relationship.
Hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.